We're on. Oh. Good morning. Just a disclaimer, there may be obnoxious cats in this video. We'll find out. Sometimes when we get up in the morning, we feed the cats before we do the class. Sometimes we don't. We've noticed that when we don't, the cats... Hi, Mary. Hi, Linda. The cats get a little rambunctious. So if you see a cat or two roaming through the picture, although if you've been watching our videos here, you've seen it. Hi, Schmutz. Good morning. How are you? So we're back again for boot camp. It's Tuesday morning. Hey, Larry. Welcome. Let's see. Tuesday morning. I don't remember what the date is. I don't know, 15, 16, something like that. I think it's 16. As you're coming on live, get yourself moving, get loose. We're going through slight variation on the routine today. Same format, four blocks of time, 2 rounds of each exercise. Hi, Deborah. Good morning. So today we'll start out with regular push-ups. We'll do the Russian and an air squat. The second set of blocks will be staggered push-ups, followed by the alternating threading the needle, if you remember that one, getting down to the plank and then reaching up and going under. And then the half squat, half deadlift on one leg, 3 at a time, followed by the next block will be low sliding push-ups. We're sliding side to side, followed by the Superman pull down. That means lying on your stomach, kind of mimicking a pull down while on the floor, and then followed by the skater, trying to go nice and big. And then the final round is the power push-ups. Remember doing a little kind of a hop from the push-up position, and then followed by the boat hold. That's lying on your back, holding the boat position for a minute. And then a little martial arts stance work is the final part of round 4. Let's see. Any announcements to make today, Farah? Nothing special. We've been working hard at getting the JCC ready. So July 1st, we'll be opening our doors again and inviting members back in for those of you. Who's here? Sharon. Hi, Sharon. So what we're saying, July 1st, we'll be opening our doors again, welcoming people back in. We've spread out some of the equipment. We've moved a number of cardio machines and some weights into the gymnasium. We set up Studio One for 5 people to do a virtual, and we have plans to do some outdoor group X classes, just a few, on Jonathan's Dream, which is the playground out there. It actually has a really nice padded surface, so as long as it's not pouring rain. Well, let me say, if you're coming for boot camp, you may still be there if it's pouring rain, because it's boot camp. They didn't let us do exercising indoors. All right. What? Farrah's pointing at the camera. All right, so I'm going to hit my timer. Maybe. I'm pushing the button. The timer's not starting. There we go. All right. I found it. It's early. All right, make sure the volume's all the way up. All right, so let's get ourselves moving. Okay. All right. We're set. So start with some knee lifts, nice and easy. We got about 5 minutes to get a warm-up going. So this is nice and light. Just want to get the blood pumping. I'm going to assume that, like me, most of you just got out of bed. Who's been up? Who's been up already? Who's been up for like 2 hours? Not me. Who's that? Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. Welcome to another boot camp. So we're pretty excited about getting the J back up and running. Excuse me. I just scratched my eyes there. Just a few more like this. All right, and I want you to turn. I'm going to turn sideways. You don't have to turn sideways. I just want you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my leg and lift it straight up in front of me and then actually swing it to the back. So I'm doing a leg swing, right, front and back. Now, if you need to, put your hand on something, right, just to give yourself a little balance. And this is a nice, easy swing, right? Better to call it a lift. I took my new hip out on a, well, I wouldn't say I went running, but I tried to run a few times. That was interesting. I've been staying away from running for a year, so. Really, I was just chasing my kid down the street. So notice as I'm trying to keep my body upright when I swing back, right? I'm not bending forward. This is just a swing of the leg while keeping the upper body stable. Now, do the same thing going lateral. So here I'll get something to hang on to. I think I've shown you this before. I'll turn a little sideways here. If you don't have something like this, you can use a wall, right? Face a wall. But I want you to be able to swing your leg across the front of your body. Remember to turn your toe up in each side. So it goes up here, and then on the opposite side, it's going up. And I'm just swinging it in and out like that. And about 15 on each leg. But make sure you add that rotation. Try not to kick your toe against whatever's in front of you. So again, you could be at the wall like this. That would be fine. You could use a chair like I'm doing. If you feel like you got the balance, right, you could do something like this where you're just going side to side. All you need is some clear space. I'm going to switch legs. We've got about 2 minutes. See the rotation. Toes turn up on this side, and when I go to the outside, toes turn up. It's kind of opening and closing the foot like a golf club. For those of you who play golfers, who are golfers. All right, let me get my chair out of the way. Let's do some jumping jacks. Again, I'm just going nice and light. That first round is going to be we'll be pretty thoroughly warmed up when we get through the first block. So, just about a minute before we start. Good, I want you to do a little shadow boxing here. Put one foot back, one foot in front. Get your dukes up and just start with a little, easy movement. Just kind of box with yourself. Play around with it. Got lots of different kinds of punches you can throw. I got the hook, got the uppercut, jab and across. Just take those 4, play around with them, dance around with the feet. You notice I'm changing it up a little bit? All jabs, all crosses, all uppercuts, or in any combination you want. All right. Feel like your heart's beating a little bit. If you're breathing a little harder, your body feels a little warmer, we're on the right track. All right, 20 seconds. So we're starting with just plain old vanilla push-ups. Follow those up with a Russian twist, followed by air squats, each for a minute. And we have 45 seconds of rest. So getting down on the floor for the regular push-up. Nice, slow, steady pace today, right? You don't have to go full-on negative, but I'm keeping it nice and slow and easy. So remember to think about your alignment, what your hand position is just outside the shoulders. Elbows are bending to the back at an angle. The head is out ahead of the hands. So, right, remember, I'm never doing this where my face is going between my hands. 1 minute. Remember to always regress if you need to. So if you've run out of gas, you just drop the knees down, finish some more push-ups there. And as always, if you run out of gas here, it's negatives. And then just getting yourself up. Keep going. We got 10 seconds. Negatives are a great way to develop anything. So I know I've said that before, but if there's a skill or an exercise that you want to be able to do, Russian twists. Again, I'm doing this with just body weight. You have the option of grabbing an object and holding it in your hands. Now, here comes one of my obnoxious cats. Good morning, Schmutz. How's it going? Keep twisting. You can keep the feet on the ground for the twist, as I'm doing now. For a little more challenge, the feet can come up, and you can move the feet back and forth. Every time I get on the ground, she comes over to see what I'm doing. So here's the variation, right? Feet down, tip back, straight spine. Make sure you're not curling, right, and rounding your body. Try to stay open and extended. Now, if you find something like this is a little rough on the lower back, you can sit up a little straighter and do it more upright. Then I'm getting my rotation here without the lean back, okay? You could also hook your feet under something if you're keeping them down. All right, we're up on the feet. Just 1 minute of air squats. So turn a little bit of angle, turn the feet out, spread them apart a little bit, and then drop down and come up. Now, a couple variations on the air squat. If you need it, you could have something like a chair behind you, and you could do little touchdowns like this, right? So maybe you're trying to avoid getting too low to the knees, right? If you have something lower, you could use that. So, for example, we've got an aerobic step over here. If I can get down low enough to it, right? I get down that low and then come up from there, right? So sometimes it helps to have something you can actually touch down to underneath you. Now remember to start the bend at the knees. See how I bend the knees first, and then the hips follow, and then you come up. And that turnout at your toes is important. You don't want to turn them in. Keep that. All right, 45 seconds of rest. I didn't do very many air squats there. That was more demonstrating. Farrah's shaking her head at me. That's all right. We have a second round to go. So a little rest here. Drink some water. I think she's got some kind of like internal mechanism, right? That just automatically makes her feel upset and disappointed when people aren't suffering in agony. That's all right. Push-ups, vanilla, right? Now you can push the pace up a little bit. If you want to go faster or slower, maybe you like doing the negatives. You know, real slow on the way down and then pop up quick. That's a variation. Or you can just kind of bang them out at your own pace. Make it your own. I just gave you a framework. You take the frame and you want to build this workout into something else yourself. So it's a nice slow descent. I'm taking about 5 seconds on the way down and then popping up on one if I can. Makes it tough, too, as you tire out. That last 1 second suddenly gets a lot harder. All right, flipping over for Russian twist. All right. So if you have a medicine ball or a water bottle, for those of you who've been doing some of Farrah's classes, using some alternative props. See how early in the morning is? All tongue-tied. Again, I'm keeping this at a steady pace. I'm not trying to race through these. As I get warmer in the later exercises, we start picking up the pace. But really, this isn't about utterly wiping yourself out. Especially not when it comes to doing things around your spine, right? We want your core strong, but you don't need to twist your body to its max here. I'm just trying to get the obliques up for air squats. Just trying to get the obliques to kick in. So again, toes turned out, break at the knees first, and then once the knees have gone forward, right, the hips drop and then you come up. And I keep my hands out as a counterbalance. You can also do things like this here when you come up, right? Kind of bring the arms back, extend the whole body at the top. So I am straightening the legs out, obviously, flexing the glutes at the top, and really extending my spine with each rep. So I'm trying to make this sort of a full body movement. Another way to make your squats a little better is to keep your eyes looking up at a slight angle. So I'm not looking down at the floor when I do this, because you notice that tends to bend me forward. Got to have the discipline to keep the spine extended. So looking up can help that a little bit. I'm going to do a few extras, just because Farrah's giving me disapproving looks. All right, a little breather here for round 2. Staggered push-ups. Right, so one hand a little ahead, one hand back. Do the push-up, and then alternate the hand position between push-ups. We follow that with threading the needle. So if you remember, get down into a plank, and then you're going to roll back, point one arm up at the ceiling, and then reach right under. Try to reach through your other arm to the side. Then you come out, get back in the plank, and then switch. 10 seconds. We follow that with that half deadlift, half squat position, kind of toe touch. All right, staggered push-ups. Again, set your own pace. So you drop down with the hands in one position, and then switch and do another push-up. Now keep going, but remember, as you're dropping down with that one hand forward, I don't want you to rotate or twist your body too much. Try to keep your body going down in a straight line. So, right, the head drops down, the hands switch, the head drops straight down. You may find when one hand's forward like this as you drop down that you want to lean away from it a little. So we try not to do that. But remember to keep that shoulder in good alignment. So watch out for things like this happening where it hunches up on you. You want to just keep the elbows bent to the back. One hand forward, one hand back. Feeling good. All right, so down into the plank, then we open up on one side. So I've rolled onto the sides of my feet. I'm going to roll back on my toes, thread the needle, come back out, and then switch sides. Roll, reach through, and then come back. Roll. Oops. I'm going to open first, reach through, come back out, and then switch. Open, reach through, and see how far you can reach through here. Whew. I'll open all the way back up again before I drop down into the second. So reach here, come back out, and then plank. If you want to, you can do this up on the hands. A little more challenging on the arm to maintain that position. A little more balance involved here. So I'm hovering for focusing on the balance just a bit more, where you can stay down on the elbows. All right. Half squat, half deadlift. I'm going to do 3 at a time. So bend the knee. There's your balance point. Then hinging at the hip, back flat. Trying to touch the toe, touch the floor, and then come back up. But I don't extend the knee. I stay down. Now, it's perfectly okay to do this with one hand on something for balance. So I could do this with my hand on the wall if I needed it. All right, doing the other side. There's that new hip. I should say newer hip. Now it's 10 months old. 3 at a time, switch sides. So I'm really not fully extending. Staying in that half squat position. I'm going to do 3 on this side to finish this out. So you got your 45 seconds of rest, but if you need to finish a set and try to even it out. Oh, yeah. Boy, this side needs that. Yeah, a little after 10 months since I had this done. So a couple more months, I'll be running past your house. Like in a full sprint. All right, so going back to staggered push-ups, alternating thread the needle, half squat, half deadlift. Are you ready? Now, if you feel you need it, you want to make this harder. Remember, you can just go faster, right? Pick up the pace. You can crank them out at the beginning. And of course, when you start fading before the minute's up, you regress to an easier version. Now, I've said if you have a little bit of an elevated surface, couch, chair, coffee table, you could do these things on that surface. Some exercises like this with staggered hand positions, that's a little bit tougher to do because maybe, well, whatever you're doing it on has to be wide enough for your hands to fit. But there are ways to make your push-ups a little easier if you need to build up your ability. Trying to keep a steady pace. Right? All right. So thread the needle, getting down in the plank. Open up wide. So how far up can you reach? But then, when you come under, really reach that arm through and then come back out and back into the plank. So notice as I'm opening up, I'm trying to keep my hips up, so don't let the hips drop down here. If you need to modify this, right, once you come into the plank, you can put the knees down. This whole thing can be done right here on the knees, right? So you always have that option. And by the way, if you're doing this on a carpet like I'm doing, it might be a little rough on the elbows. So you can put something under your elbows, a towel, a yoga mat, something like that, if you haven't already thought of it. Or you can just toughen up your elbows and dig them into the carpet. All right, half squat, half deadlift. I'm doing 3 at a time before I switch. Another way to vary it would be, right, to do a different number. Maybe you do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other. I'm going at a pretty slow pace with these because I'm trying to really focus on the balance. So just the hold and the hover and the fight to be balanced is work. Right, trying to keep the spine straight, hinging at the hip. And I'm really trying to push that range of motion down, especially in my case. Right, as you can see, I can't get that opposite hand to touch the floor. So that's not required. You just do the range of motion you can do. Moan and groan. You see how much work that is. I'm going to finish one more of these, though. We're at rest before we start round 3. Sorry, Felix. You got to wait till after class. Then we'll feed you, okay? Just a little patience. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Third block. We do the low slide push-up. Remember, going wide with the hands. Drop it down, shifting your weight as far to one side as you can. While down low, close to the ground. Then shift all the way to the other side before you center, and then push yourself up again. Follow it up with a Superman pull down, so you're lying on your stomach, and then lifting the arms and legs, and then we get up for skaters. All right, so low slides. Nice wide stance, right? Nice wide hand position. We get down, shift side to side, and then back up. Again, this can be done on the knees, right? If you need to regress. Your pace can be faster or slower when you're doing the slide, but either way, nice wide position with the hands, down to the center first, way over to one side, way over to the other, center, and lift. Now remember, keep going, don't stop. You have the option of really trying to extend the arm you're sliding away from, right? That's a real challenging version. So if I get down there like this, and I can totally straighten this arm out, and totally straighten the other arm out, and then center, that's about the max version of this that you can create, okay? So, and those are hard, right? You don't have to do that. All right, Superman, pull down. Just go right onto the stomach. Draw the abs in. Lift everything up, hands and feet. Lift the arms as high as you can, and then pull back to your sides with your elbows. But keep that upwards lift. I'm still lifting to the ceiling. Then you can flop down in between. It's okay. Hey, Schmutz. Right? Cat's coming to visit. She's probably going to climb on my back, which is where she usually goes. Oh, no, maybe not. Not today. Okay. And reach. And down. And lift. If you have animals in your house, they're probably coming to help you lift. They like joining in the workouts. I'm actually glad it's not a dog. Don't get me wrong, I like dogs perfectly fine, but I think they'd be a little more involved right now. So lift everything, including your stomach. All right, we're going up for the skater. Remember, a good skater is about getting low and covering distance. So when you start them out, you might be up high, and you might not travel as far. But as you start getting a little more, say a little warmer, a little more into the groove, you can start getting lower. Now again, that hip mobility is going to limit how low you can get. See, here's the good hip, and here's the new hip. Okay, so I'm being careful. Your pace can be faster. These are really, they're leg exercises, but because we're going for lateral movement, side to side, we're getting the glutes, we're getting the hips. Notice also the arm movement here. I'm trying to use the arm swing as part of the motion. So it's not jumping with my arms just hanging at my sides. The arm swing is part of each rep. All right, little rest. It's feeling good. Fair's already got the bonus round worked out for us, by the way. It's got a lot of exercises in it. Starts with burpees, and then just because she's mean, is one more burpee at the end. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So back to low sliding push-ups, Superman pull down, skaters. We got about 10 seconds here, almost. You'll hear the beep. Here comes Felix. Good morning, Felix. All right, get down for your slides. I'm going to change the angle. Change my point of view a little bit. Get down low, slide to one side, slide to the other side, back to center, and up again. It's okay to reset in between. Sometimes when you're doing moves like this, your feet shift out of position, or, right, you need to adjust the hands, right? I'm going to go for that straight arm version. Ugh. Ooh. That is rough, but it's hard. It's good work. It's hard work. You just want to make sure that the shoulders are strong enough to handle that, okay? You're loading the shoulders up in a different way. So you've got to make sure you've got strong enough shoulders. And that's why you work your way into this, right? Regress when you need it. Because you really don't want to overwork some part of you. You want to get each part stronger. Ugh. You also want to get the coordination. And that takes working slow, right? So down on the stomach, Superman pull down, and then down, right? Everything's going up, right? So even as I'm pulling the arms back, I'm still trying to lift my elbows, lift the back of the hands, lift my chest, lift my legs before I extend back out. A little bit of a break, just a second. Now, I'm also, it's hard to see it, but I'm also really pushing my feet backwards as well as lifting them. So I'm not just, notice my arms, my legs aren't bent like this. I'm extending back, extending out with the arms. So everything's going for max reach here in each rep. It's fine to take a second in between. It's really the problems having animals and exercising on carpet. All right, skaters. So I was talking about the arms before. See how I'm going to keep going, but see how I've loaded my arms up. So the arms
actually lead the movement. So set them up, swing and jump, swing and jump. You can add that arm going across as part. See how I'm reaching down, trying to touch the floor in front of my toe or outside the toe. And then if you've got something like I have a little nice little guide here. I can tell how far I'm going with each leap. So, if you've got a carpet or some lines on the floor, tape, anything you can use as a little bit of a guide. Give yourself a goal, right? This is all flowers here. I'm going to try to get past that big flower. Not quite, right? So I'm going from big flower to big flower on my carpet. And if I can go outside those, get a little bigger, I'll shoot for it. All right. 45 seconds before we get to block 4. So block 4 is the power push-up. Remember, you can do these from your knees. Follow that with a boat hold. Just flipping over on your back, extending the arms and legs, and holding the position. Then we get up and we do some karate stances. So just to review the power push-ups, if you're on the knees, that is doing essentially something like a jumping jack with your hands, okay? Right? So I'm switching back and forth between diamonds and wide push-ups. They can be done on the feet, much harder. If you're really gung-ho, hold on. I'm going to do a few of these first before I show you the other kind of power push-up, which some of you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So keep going, keep doing those power push-ups. But you could switch these into clapping push-ups. So if you're feeling really strong, right? Remember those? That would get the same effect. But here's the thing. If you're doing that from your knees, make sure you're not doing this and pushing back. See how I push my hips back? Keep the hips down so that my body is straight. And that can be done from the toes. And of course, you can just go back to the good old walk in, walk out, especially towards the end of this when there's not a lot of gas left in the tank. That one's burning me out. Okay, hold the boat. So you just roll over onto the back. You get the lower back on the ground, legs extended, arms extended, and hold. Try to lift the chest as much as possible here, okay? And remember that in the hold position, bending the knees a little bit is a way to regress. Take a little bit of stress off the lower abs and the lower back if you need it. Also bringing the legs more up. Same with the arms, right? This is a harder version. This is a little easier. And this would be slightly easier. And you can be in the position. Halfway through, you might say, hold on, right? Take 3 seconds, recoup, and then bang, get right back into it. And you just keep regulating yourself that way, trying to extend how long you're holding the position. So I'm trying to keep the shoulders off the ground if I can. I'm not down here like this. It's all work. All right, so up in the stance. Oop, I lost my microphone. Hold on. All right, so karate stances. This is going to look a little bit like the lunges we've done before, okay? So you're going to go for this horse stance that is dropping down low. You're going to switch to the forward stance that's switching over to bending one knee. Then you're going to shift back to the other side. But notice how I bent this knee, I'm looking at that foot, and then I'm going to go back to the horse stance, okay? So shift to this stance, forward stance, right? My eyes are looking this way, over the leg that's bent. Then I'm going to bend the leg behind me, but I'm going to keep my eyes back, so I'm trying to sink into that back leg and really drop down. The other leg is straightened out, and I'm looking over there. And then I go back to bending both knees, okay? So forward stance, right? Eyes looking over this. Get low, work it. The hold creates the work. Then bend the other knee, shift back and away, but keep your eyes and your hands looking. So I'm really trying to sink into this. Make a stretch. Back to the horse stance, and then up, huh? Whew. There's a lot of technique in that one, so when you're doing technique, you don't do as much hard physical labor. But you know what's really valuable about that particular one is we're already a little fatigued. So we're really working on the movement. This is something I teach a lot of my martial arts students. it's not just about making your muscles burn. Oh, we want that. But also getting the shift, right? Making the joints mobile. From a martial arts perspective, it isn't about the holding and the cool poses. It's about the moves in between. All right, power push-ups. Which version are you doing? Are you doing the jumping jack? Or maybe you're doing claps, right? I'm doing these from the knees because I really want to be able to pull them off, right? I don't have to do them. I can do them from up here, right? But I'm already pretty spent. So at the end of the workout, I want to get some more reps in. And again, you can regulate a little bit, take a second, recover, and then you go right back into a few more reps. Or maybe you're doing those jumping jacks. Getting some of those diamonds in there. Or maybe you're back to claps. They're burning out. Maybe you're doing negatives, right? What would a clap look like? In the negative, I don't think you can do it. 10 seconds. Let's get a few more reps in there. All right, boat hold. So on your back. Now, when I'm doing this position, keep going, but it's important that you're trying to kind of hollow out the abs. And what I mean by that is that you're really drawing them in, but also tipping the pelvis back. So I've got my legs extended here. I don't want the weight of my legs to be causing my low back to lift off the mat. I want to pull it in. That really anchors the abdominals. That supports the lower back, right? And then hold that position. When you feel like you've lost it, that's when you pull the knees in a little bit, or when you take a second, give yourself a breather. But otherwise, you fight for that position. Any strain in the low back, that's a sign. Take a little break, recoup for a moment, try to rejoin the exercise, right? Maybe at an easier level. All right, so I'm going to fire through those stances a little faster this time. So here it is, horse, nice and low. Twist to the forward stance. Shift back to, we call this a back stance. Shift to the forward stance, or the horse, right? Then forward. So I want this to be about the movement and less about the standing. Front, back, horse. A little Spider-Man work here, right? Front, shift, back, and then horse. One thing you can do when you do this too is get your hands really involved, right? You can get lean on your leg, and when you get here, you can lean on this leg and really drop down, and then come back to the center before we switch again, okay? And if you want to get really low when you're doing this one, get your hands down on the floor, lift your toe up before you come in, right? Ooh. Right, so forward, back, horse, forward, back, horse. I'm trying to stay in motion. All right, we are there. It's time for the bonus round. You ready for this? 5 burpees, followed by 10 jump squats, followed by 15 more push-ups, then 20 mountain climbers. We're climbing the ladder, and then when you're done with your mountain climbers, you get up and you punctuate the whole thing with 1 more burpee. All right, so 5 burpees to start. Are you ready? Set, go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Finish those up. Then it's 10 jump squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice I'm going low here. I'm going for the squat. 9 and 10. Followed by 15 push-ups. So finish your jump squats. 15 push-ups. Your own favorite version. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew. 15 push-ups. When you're done, 20 mountain climbers. Remember, each double switch is 1 mountain climber. So you got to switch your feet twice. For each one count. You could also switch your feet 40 times. That'll get you in the same place. All right, I'm going on my mountain climbers. Join me when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 20. And then you finish it off with one giant burpee. Bang. I'm done. Good. Heart rate's up. Sweat's dripping. It feels good. Get some water. I'll wait for you to catch up. Remember, there's a delay. So what you're seeing on the screen now is actually 30 seconds or so after it actually happened. Just remember that. So really that means there's no way for you to finish before me because I've got a delay built in. Is that cheating? All right. Good job, everybody. If you're going on to planks with Pete, yes, I know, we're done. If you're going on to planks with Pete, make sure you keep yourself moving. He starts in about 5 minutes. So I want to thank you all for joining me in the workout this morning. I think we're definitely doing this again, at least for another couple weeks. July 1st, we open our doors. The following Tuesday, weather permitting, we could be doing this class outside at Jonathan's Dream in person, right? For anyone who wants to join in. If not, I'll still be broadcasting it, so you'll be able to watch from the relative comfort of home. But until I see you again, you have a great day. I'll see you at Planks with Pete. Bye.